Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining the channel. So this might be a familiar face for some of you. This is the JVC JA-S71. So this was featured in an episode 174, I think, back in March of this year, 2023. Did a restoration on it, a full recap, did a lot of work, and returned it to my client, and he got a lot of use out of it. He used it for about 6 months, and good use too, not just occasional. I'm talking daily use. Works flawlessly for 6 months. They love the sound of this thing. They compare it to others, and this thing, nothing matches it. So they're really pleased with this. But then back in September, it started to develop a fault. And the way he explained it to me is one channel would go quiet or disappear, and they were playing around with this mode switch, the stereo reverse, and then the channel would come back for a while and then it would disappear again. But then it started eating fuses, and now it's in a position where that's all it does is eat fuses. So we're going to get into this. It's back on the bench for repair. Now I don't know if this is going to be a warranty job or not, because we'll have to determine what's going on with this amplifier. But let's get the cover off and do a post-mortem on it and see what it can tell us. If it's eating fuses, I'm pretty much guaranteeing a hard short in the amplifiers, which I'm hoping it's not, because it has the original silicon and everything, and we just want to keep running with that if we can. But for whatever reason, it died, so let's get into it. All right. Don't see anything on there. Let's have a good look here. Wow. Accumulating a lot of dust. Alright. I'm looking at the amplifiers here, and I'm not seeing anything that's... No craters, no bomb blasts. Everything looks okay. Now he said he was changing fuses, so let's look at the fuses here. This one here is our main power fuse. I'm not plugged in right now, but and that one's intact. It's a 6 amp, 250 volt. Looks like the correct fuse. And there's another fuse down here, but I think this is an auxiliary fuse. This one here. And I can't see it. It says 200 milliamps. And that wire is so fine I can't really see. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, let's test for shorts on our output devices. Okay, what do we got here? This is our collector. Let's check back here. You can't see. Okay, I'm just looking for collector emitter shorts right now. I'm not going to do anything. Okay. Everything's looking good so far. Can't get my probe in this one. But I don't think it's shorted either. Which color is this one? This one is brown. Yeah, they're all open. Okay. Let's check that fuse over here. Fuse is good. Alright, so I'm just checking across the main filter caps and just check and see if there is a dead short here. And I'm getting meg ohms on that one. And meg ohms on that one. So there is no obvious dead short along the current path between the transformer, capacitors, and the output transistors. I'm not seeing it. I checked also these 4 driver transistors. They're fine. I also checked these 2 bias tracking transistors, and they're fine. So it seems like we have, whatever it is, it's an intermittent come and go type thing. I'm just going to take this outside and blow there's a lot of cat hair and dust in this. I think they have a cat, so whatever, I have a feeling I know what's going on here. When they turn this on and they listen to it, this warms up, and sometimes the kitty likes to park on top here and capture all that heat. But in doing so, there's a lot of dust and dander and hair. There's a lot of hair in here. So I'm going to go blow all this hair out, and then we can start figuring it out. I don't think it's got a short. I can't see one in here unless it's that thing. And if that is that thing, then we're in trouble. But let me get this cleaned up first. Okay, I think the thing to do now is bring this up on my Variac. I'm going to bring it up slowly. What do I got here? I got Variac is on, power's on, and we're set at 0 right now. So let's bump this up. If I start to see current, I'll back off. Looks like this going good. Why do we have no power? I'm plugged into the Variac. Fuse is intact. Okay, what's going on here? Let's test for continuity on the power cord. Some really odd stuff is happening here. Okay, I got open circuit, turn that on, open circuit. Is it this fuse? This fuse tested good. fuse is good. Alright, let's put it back. Let's try that again. Okay, power switch is on, and we have open circuit. Why do we have open circuit? Oh, hang on. Oh, it's my fingers, I think. No. Bad power switch? Power switch is bad. You got no continuity here on the power switch. What is going on? We've got nothing on this power switch. How does that even make sense? It was working. And then today the power switch is dead. Okay, well, let's pull that thing out. We're going to have to do some surgery on that switch, I think. Okay, here's the switch out. Let's have a look at it. So this here, you see this little frayed wire here. That was like that when I pulled it out. So that wire snapped. Looks to me like somebody disconnected this switch and moved the wires over to this switch. Now, if they're both failed, how do we fix this? Let's try continuity test on this switch. What do we got here? We got absolutely nothing. Most of the time it doesn't connect. Let's try this side. Nothing. This should work. This side is toast. Oh boy, how are we going to fix this? This side works. This side doesn't. Okay. We got an effed up power switch. Let's open this up. Let's mark it first. Let's mark this. Let's see here. Let's mark this here. I'm going to put a scratch here, and we're going to put a scratch here. Okay. We might have to flip this over, this body of this housing, and use the other set of contacts. It might be our only fix, because the way it is now, this thing's not working. What is this? See, now it's stuck. It's jammed up. you see? Oh yeah, look at that. Both of them are arced and burnt to nothing. I just had this in a Yamaha. Let's have a good close look at this. Okay, first off, let's just get rid of this mess. What we're going to do, you can see that the carbon buildup on those contacts. Yeah, so exactly what happened here is you can see both of these levers are completely gone. On one end of them is completely gone, and those sit inside here. I just explained all this on the Yamaha we just did, the 1020. So these sit inside here. Actually, it goes like this. Okay. And there's two of them. And these little spring nubs here, there's two nubs and they're both spring loaded. Slides on the back of this lever, and it's either off or on. But in this case, the end's completely eroded away from arcing, and there's no connection here whatsoever anymore. So not only do we got black and soot, well, it's probably oxides of metal and stuff. But if we look on the other side of the switch, we have brand new contacts that have never been used, right? And that makes contact. So what we can do is just install this part upside down, and we can continue using the switch. This fell out. Let me put this back. So let's clean this up, and then we'll get in here and we'll fix this up. See, there's still a button there, but it's just filthy. Let's get some. Just going to use some zero residue. This is 409B, and I don't want to leave any oily film in here, so we're just going to give her a shot just to clean out all the black. It's not necessary, we could just leave it because we're not going to be using that side anymore. But you can get a good idea of all the crap that's in here. I think I need to start looking for a source of these lever type switches, because I'm starting to see more and more of them are giving up. Another thing I noticed on this is there's no snubbing capacitor, and I don't know if that was removed by whoever did the wire swap on the switch or what. But okay, let's clean this up a bit. Clean these. That's filthy. Let's see how this is looking. It's a lot better. Okay. Yeah, these two buttons here on this side look brand new. We've never seen any current go through them. So we're going to use that instead of these ones that are pitted. And we're going to use the side of the lever that's never seen current either. This is like brand new on this side. So when we're done reassembling this, it's going to be like a brand new switch. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to give it more cleaning. Just get the little bit what's left in here. So now I'm thinking, why was the owner changing fuses? A bad switch will not cause a fuse to blow unless unless the assumption was made that there's no power, so it must be a dead fuse, so they replaced the fuse and then maybe it started working again. But this would be a real hit and miss thing when you turn it on and off. It might work every 20th time. And the thing is that it's probably making such a poor connection that as soon as you turn up the volume and the current starts flowing, it probably breaks the connection and gives up. So maybe that's why he thought it needed a fuse. You know, not everybody has a meter for testing fuses, so they assume it's blown, so they change it. It's not a big deal. Fuses are cheap. Well, they're not cheap anymore. They're getting more and more expensive. Okay, let's clean off this old grease. Okay, we're going to put fresh grease on that. If I can find my grease syringe. So I think we have a mistaken assumption that a fuse is the cause of the no power, when actually it was the switch failed. Which kind of confirms my checking of all the output devices are good, everything's checking out. There's no shorts in any of the transistors. There's no shorts in the power supply. So I think this is our culprit right here, the dead switch. Just going to put grease on the back of this. Alright, now we need to figure out, that's the on position. So that's down. We should clean some of this too. Let me clean this part. And if that's all it is, just a power switch, so this is an easy fix. Okay. On. And we want it to go like that. Okay. So let's put this in. Another thing I'm going to do, aside from adding a snubber capacitor, I'm going to add a jumper wire to bridge both sides of this switch so they're working in parallel. So they should only see half the current and have twice the life. So we're going to do that too. What's the point of having a dual pole switch and then only using half of it? Alright, so that's that. This goes together like this. Okay. Crimp this. Temporary. I just want to crimp it and then test it, just so it doesn't fall apart on me. Okay. So that should be on. That is on. Okay. And this one should be on. Okay. What do we got here? 0.03. Check this side. .03. Let me check contact resistance on this before we go any farther. Let's see what we got for contact resistance. Oh, that's good. We got 3 milliohms open. Okay, that side's excellent. Let's try this side. 3 milliohms. Look at that. That's what a power switch should be like. Okay. So I'm going to clean off this smeg here, and we're going to use these contacts instead of these contacts. Since, yeah. So I'll clean this up and we'll get this prepped. Okay, I think I got everything prepared here. I think what I'm going to do is just solder this all back together again. So I'm going to put this capacitor on this side. Put this one on this side. Okay. Now I made a couple little jumpers. It's kind of thick wire. I don't need it that thick, but we'll see. Okay. Good enough for now. I'll solder them all up at the end when I'm done. This one goes here. I'm just going to put these jumpers in because I'm going to parallel these contacts together. Should give them twice the life of the way it was set up before. Okay, so that's you should never have a problem with the switch again. Yeah, that makes all sense now. Is the owner was complaining it was blowing fuses, but it wasn't blowing fuses. This just the switch was going open. So what does he do? He puts a new fuse in, and either it worked or it didn't work. Made the assumption the fuse was gone, so maybe he replaced it again. I don't know, but nothing wrong with the fuse, and there was nothing wrong with the power amplifier. I'll deal that later. Okay. Gotta make it tidy or else I'll get criticized. Okay. Awesome. Come on. zip tie is annoying the hell out of me. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now I want to fix up this one. Needs more heat. There we go. And this one. Okay, we're done. So I put this insulating sleeve on here. This is a heat shrink. And I'm just going to put this on just to cover everything. And hide my poor soldering. Okay, it's ready to go back in. Hole there. Alright, before we go any farther, I just want to do a test. So let's plug it in. Turning it on. Jumps up 100 watts down to 16. Relay clicks. 17 watts and slowly climbing. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the bias on this just to make sure it's good. He said it sounded fantastic, so I have a feeling. What is the bias supposed to be? Let me do some reading up on the service manual. So just to finish this up, I want to test some of these switches, because that was the original complaint of my client, is that he was fiddling with this mode switch, the stereo reverse mode switch, and trying to get one or two channels to work at this, and he was having problems with that. So let's test this out. So I put in a new pilot lamp, and I also installed a cover for the fuse just to keep it good. Okay, so our pilot lamp's working. Let's get to auxiliary 1. I'm going to tone here. Let's. Okay. Don't hear any problems with any of these switches. Ooh, that one's quite dirty. These two are quite dirty. wonder if I can do something with these three. These rotary switches are working good though. Yeah. They're not bad, but they're not great either. Like, I don't think they're an issue. But they are dirty. Once you work them though, they start to smarten up. Okay, well, I'll see what I can do about the switches, but I think other than that, this is ready to go back. I think we solved the mystery of the blown fuses. It wasn't blown fuse at all. It was just a failed power switch, which could give the symptom as a blown fuse, I guess. But everything's working good now. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.